Hi, this video is going to be part 1 of many, where we analyze first-hand data and show why the 17-flow system we developed is better than the 8-flow system, which every other agency offers. So, as we discussed in the main video, there are 3 segments which the conventional flows do not engage with. So these are the conventional flows. You have the website abandonment flows and the post-purchase flows. The 3 segments are this. Number 1, it's the chunk of the mailing list who has received emails but they haven't opened. It's surprising how many recipients we're sending emails to using flows and campaigns but they're simply not opening them. This shows an issue with deliverability to their inbox. Now, what we did in the 17 flows system we built is we made domain reputation and deliverability flows so that we can identify those recipients and either we suppress them or before that, ideally, what we want is to identify the issue by sending them strategic emails, text-only emails that avoid any spam filters, which have the highest probability of landing in the inbox. So that's the ideal scenario. We identify them, we engage them, we ask them to reply to this email, and we use different angles to get them to do that. So that not only does our domain reputation go up for them, but it also goes up for the rest of our mailing list. And if they just don't open, then we just suppress them because they're damaging our domain reputation. So that's segment 1. Okay, so we are now going to analyze first-hand data to see how big those segments are. So let's go to lists and segments. Actually, first, let's take note of the email list size. This brand has 7,500 active profiles. That's the people who are subscribed to the mailing list. You can ignore this and this, that's not relevant. So we go to lists and segments. We want to create a segment. Let's call it untapped segment 1. So how we are going to identify those people is by setting a definition. So number 1 is they are not suppressed. Number 2 is they have received email is at least 5 times in the last 180 days. And open email 0 times in the last 180 days. So this sets a safe definition where we are justified to think that there is an issue with deliverability and us reaching their inbox. So let's create a segment. Whilst this is being made, let's talk about the second segment that the conventional 8 flows just don't tap into. The second segment are people who receive emails, right? They've opted in, they've been on your website once, they keep receiving emails, but they only open emails, right? They only open them. They don't click on the email to go to the website, and they've been doing that for a long time. And they haven't purchased, either never, or it's been more than 180 days they haven't purchased. So basically, they're basically a lost customer for this niche. So we're also going to make a segment. Let's wait for this to be done. So the second segment is this. So segment, let's call it untapped segment 2. So always not suppressed, and here it's going to be what someone has done, not done, opened email is at least 4 times in the last 30 days, clicked email. So now we just want to make sure that we're setting the definition that they haven't clicked or taken any website activity. So website activity like active on site, 0 times in the last 30 days. Actually, active on site, we can do 15 days because it's not a accurate metric. Then we can do viewed product in the last, where's it gone? Oh yeah, 0 times in the last 30 days. This one has done, not done, added to cart, 0 times in the last 30 days. Checkout started, 0 times in the last 30 days. And placed order, we're not going to do 30 days, we are going to do 0 times in the last 180 days. Okay, and let me just double check. That's good, that's correct. Now let's do that. Now, whilst this is being done, let's also have a look at the third segment, which is customers who have bought, right? They have purchased at least once, but it's been more than 90 days or more than 120 days. They haven't purchased again. The 8 conventional flows only go up to, this is 30 days, and some agencies set up a win-back flow which is around 60 days, but it doesn't go beyond that, right? So the late replenish flow, which we have in our new 17 flow system, goes up to 90 days to 120 days, and we can even make it up to 180 days onwards. So that segment is going to look like that. Let's make it. So create segment, untapped segment 3. So someone not suppressed, and someone has done placed order at least once over all time. This means they are a customer, and placed order 0 times in the last, let's do 90 days for this niche, for this brand in particular, 90 days. So yeah, that's going to be a late replenish, 90 days. Let's do that. Create. Now whilst this is being done, let's go back to the first segment and analyze. So 626 people are in this segment, in the first segment. Let me just write this down. Okay, so I made this quick Word document, Google document. So 7,400 is 100% of the mailing list, and the untapped segment 631. Sorry, 626 is 8.5% of the mailing list. This segment a lot bigger. That's 1,513, which is, let me just do some quick maths. Calculator. So 100 divided by 7,456 times that by that's 20.2% of the mailing list. Let's just do that. Mailing list. That's the second segment. Now the third segment, let's see how big that segment is. That's 2,335. But the thing is, some segments will overlap between, some profiles will overlap between segment 3 and segment 2. So the way to make sure there is no overlap is this. We're going to add a definition in segment 3 where we don't want anyone from segment 2 to be included in segment 3 so that we have an accurate number. And if someone is or is not in a list, untapped segment 2. Has it been made? List, yes. Now let's see. Actually here, it's meant to be, is not in untapped segment 2. Now let's press update segment. And let's wait. So it's now done and loaded, and this segment has 1,760. So let's add this in. 1,760 equals 1,760. That's 23.6% of the mailing list. Now, if we add up the numbers, 8.5% plus 20.2% plus 23.6%, that's 52.3% of the mailing list. Basically 52% of the mailing list would be untapped using the conventional 8 flows. So here, what we did to fix this, to make sure that every chunk of the mailing list and every segment is being engaged with, that we're engaging the segment, we've added this. First, we've added a domain reputation and deliverability flow to engage with people who are having issues with their inbox or we're having an issue reaching them to their inbox. Secondly, email only engages. This is basically the segment 2, which we made. You have a humanized flow, pattern interrupt flow, a second strategy for pattern interrupt. You have a downsell flow and a sunset unengaged. Next, to tap into this segment number 3, we added more flows to the post-purchase flows, and we use a lot of conditional logic to make sure they get to see the email and have a high probability to open it and engage with it. So for example here, let's say a past customer received this email, but they did not have the chance to open it. The conditional logic, the conditional split here would be, if they have opened this email, go on to the next email. But if after 2 days they still haven't opened it, resend this email so that it doesn't go to waste, so that all the content we've made and all the time we've put into that doesn't go to waste. Resend this email using a different subject line and even at a different time. Maybe because the time we sent this email, that person might have been busy or they might not have been on their phone or laptop. So send it at a different time and with a different subject line so that they open it. And then no email goes to waste. And yeah, that's the reason why. This is the reason why we developed our 17 flow system instead of just using the 8 flows. And yeah, if you have any questions, just email me and I'll get back to you.